Okay, right. We will discuss about the utility functions and utility calculation. Do you have a scientific calculation? Is it like that one?
Yes, I do.
You have to use it for the calculation purposes. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
What about your knowledge related to the economics?
It's all right. Like I can do calculus, but it's been a bit of a while since I did like differentiation and integration because I last did for A level, so it's been like a year or two. So I'm a bit rusty, but otherwise it's okay. It's just a bit hard to understand like the graphs and like the budget constraints and stuff.
Yeah, those things are not included in the A level. That is why it happened.
Yeah, so it's a bit that jump was a bit big.
Yeah, okay. No need to worry. I will explain each and everything. Okay, one by one.
Okay.
Uh, so this is the methodology which I am going to do uh, those things. I will explain the calculations by using that theory and what kind of economics knowledge must be there to understand those things. Okay. If there any kind of
Right.
clarification, you can ask. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Right. If you don't understand this one, you're unable to continue. That is why I'm saying that. Okay.
Right,
Right.
okay.
Okay. Let's move to the first question in here in your assignment. I will teach that each and everything based on your assignment. Okay. First in here, the consumer's utility function is given by a function of C and A. So first of all, we have to identify what's the meaning of utility. Okay, utility means after consuming something, you can satisfy. Right, after
Right.
consuming anything, you can satisfy. Yes, we can divide that satisfaction into two categories. First one is positive satisfaction. Second one is negative satisfaction. Okay, if you are
Right.
going to utilize negative things, we call it bad goods. So you will
Mm-hmm.
get negative satisfaction. We call it utility. Okay?
Right. Okay.
Utility is equal to the satisfaction. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This word is utilized to indicate the satisfaction of a consumer. Right.
Right.
That consumption level, I mean utility level, the satisfaction level can be changed one person to another person. That's a nature, right? In the same person also, according to change the time period, their utilization also can be changed time to time, right? So then
Okay.
you have to identify that one utility is not a constraint or constant one, right? It can be
Right.
changed. Okay. How we can identify that one? Before calculation, I'm going to describe what's the meaning of utility. Okay, based on the uh, theory, then you can understand uh, very well after calculation. Okay, we are going to spend little time period to understand what's the meaning theory of utility and what are the total utility and marginal utility. You identify those marginal and total utility, you can do the calculation. That is why I'm going to do that. Okay, right. Okay, first of all, we already identify the market equilibrium related to the subject of economics.
Right.
When the expectation of consumers, I mean party of demand, exactly equal to the party of supply, I mean producer,
Okay.
prices and quantities. Okay,
Right.
when they are cross their line cross together, that point understand it as a equilibrium of the market. It is belong to the consumers and producers. But in here, you have to identify, you are going to understand only equilibrium point related to only consumer, not about the producer. Right?
Right. Okay.
Actually, in economics, we are going to understand the consumer who behave in rational level. They will take the decisions in rational manner, right? That means they try to maximize the utilization. They try to maximize the satisfaction consuming any kind of commodities. That is what we call as rational thinking or rational behavior. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Then we are going to understand in here the related to the utility theory to study how individual choice or making decisions related to their satisfaction to satisfy the basic needs and wants. Right? So then we have to identify how we can decide the demand. Demand in here you can identify for the any kind of demand, any kind of commodity demand will be depend on two types of major factors. First one is price. Other thing is income. Right?
Right.
Those are similar. Right? If your income is in a high level, you are not going to worry about the prices. Right? If your income is in a lower level, you have to worry about the prices of the commodity. Okay, it is similar activity related to the market position, but in here you are going to identify only that one. Right? So we got limited money. That is why in here actually this is money related to the income of the consumer. Income of the consumer, right? So how they are going to allocate that limited money, limited income to the consumption purposes. But in here you are going to assume that this particular person, this particular consumer consume only two commodities, right?
Right.
It can be X or Y, O, A, O, B. In your case, I mean, I'm going to discuss about that your assignment. In your case, only C and L.
Yeah.
That means consumption and lesser. Consumption.
Yes.
And lesser. Okay. So that is why in each and every utility theory questions, they are asking only about two commodities. They assume that this particular person consume only two commodities. Then they have to decide what commodity, in what quantity they are going to consume to satisfy the basic needs and wants in a mood of the highly level of satisfaction. We call it high maximum satisfaction. Okay, right. So highest level of satisfaction. That is what we call as maximum satisfaction. Okay. So how we can identify the maximum satisfaction? We can utilize two type of things. Two type of approaches are there. Okay. First one is cardinal approach. Right. It is invented by the Alfred Marshall. Okay. It is cardinal approach. Actually, that cardinal approach, we are going to calculate the utility. So already I say that utility mean satisfaction. But in here you have to identify Alfred Marshall say that this utility can be measured. This utility can be measured. Actually, in practical level, we can't measure the utility. That is what we have identified in the day-to-day life. After you using one liter or any kind of bottle of Coca-Cola, can you measure the satisfaction of this one? You can't do that.
You can't, right?
But in practical level, you can compare. You can compare. That is, you can do the satisfaction of consuming one bottle of Coca-Cola. You can compare with satisfaction of one bottle of Pepsi.
Yes, right.
Okay, that is practical level. But in here, I mean, in cardinal approach level, cardinal approach methodology, it say that you can measure, you can count that level of utility. Okay, that is why we can calculate it. Right? If we are unable to understand the level, or if we are unable to measure that one, we can't calculate anything.
Right.
Right? Okay. Right. You have to identify in here, I mean, cardinal approach, we are going to measure the utilities. Right? So then the measuring unit is utilities. Okay. We call it U, utilities. Right? Two
Right.
types of utilities are there. First one is total utility. Second one is marginal utility. Right? Two types of utilities you can identify here. First one is total utility. Second one is marginal utility. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So then already I said that in economics we are going to identify rational behavior of a consumer. That means consumer will take decision according to the factors. Without considering factors, they are not going to take the decision. That is why we call it rational thinking pattern. Right?
Right.
So then that means this person is going to compare each and everything. And he are
Mm-hmm.
going to measure each and everything. They will take the most appropriate decision in here. That is what we call as rational thinking method. In here, by using total utility, you can't take any kind of decision. You can't take any
Okay.
kind of decision by using total utility. Then you have to understand the marginal utility. Then looking at the marginal utility, you can take the decision. Right?
Right.
As example, I will explain how you can utilize the marginal things. Marginal mean, you have any idea about the marginal mean? Marginal? Marginal mean additional thing. Additional.
Okay.
Okay. As example, the person namely known as X. Okay. Is work as in ABC company, right? His time
Mm-hmm.
period for the working time period is starting from the 8 a.m. end from 4 p.m. Right?
Right.
If this man work extra hour, if this man take work extra hour, I mean overtime, 1 hour,
Yeah.
he can earn 2,000 rupees. Okay, as example, just assume that he can earn 2,000
Right.
rupees after working additional hour. So then, for the additional hour, if they are going to work additional hour, is missing something. What is unable to go to the
Spend on leisure and yeah.
spend on leisure or spending time period with family members,
Yeah.
bring
Right.
meal for the night, was
Yeah. So they have less free time.
yeah, each and everything must be delayed because of that one, right?
Right.
He already measure all the sacrificing activities, what kind of sacrificing activities he have to do, and he measured that one. Because of that additional hour, he have to sacrifice many things. The value of all those sacrifice, he identified it is look like 5,000 rupees. Okay, so then that means to earn 2,000 rupees, this man sacrificed 5,000 rupees. Is that good?
Right. No,
No,
that's not. That's negative, right?
that is negative. Is earning negative 3,000 rupees, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
then that decision is not, that decision is not rational thinking pattern. It's not related to rational thinking pattern.
Right.
If this person discuss only about total utility, I mean total earning, as example, after working 5 days overtime, 2,000 multiplied by 5, it is 10,000 rupees. He just only consider about total earning, total
Yeah.
utility of total earning. By looking at the 10,000, you can't take any kind of decision.
Yeah.
Even you don't
Right.
have any idea, it is that negative or positive, you can't take any kind of decisions.
Right.
So that is why we need to consider about marginal utility. right? Marginal values. Without marginal value, as a consumer, as a producer, as an entrepreneur, you can take proper decisions, right? I think you understand why we are going to consider but always marginal values, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then, according to that one, this is total utility. Next one, it is marginal utility. How we can calculate that one? Total utility and marginal utility. Just look at the discrete. Okay. This is assume values. Okay. This Q represent quantity of the consumption. Okay. If this particular person going to consume only one commodity, and they can take the utility 0. There's no utility, that means. If they are going to utility two commodities, if they are going to consume two commodities, the total utility become 10. Okay.
Yeah.
If they are going to consume three commodity, total utility become 80. So now you can identify marginal. Marginal, how we can calculate the marginal value? Mu equal delta Tu divided by delta Q,
Yes.
right? Okay, that means the difference of the total utility, I will take this position, okay? Difference of the total utility is it is 8, okay? Difference of the total consumption quantity, it is 1. 8 divided by 1, it is equal to 8. So that is why it become 8, right? So you can observe that marginal utility values are gradually reducing one by one, no, two by two.
Decreasing. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first of all, you have to identify critical thinking, critical point in here. When you are going to reach the maximum point of the, when you are going to reach the maximum point of the, I will point out, okay? Maximum total utility point. That is mean 30, okay? When you are going to consume 5 and 6, it reached the maximum total utility.
Right.
Right. So then this one, when you are going to reach the maximum total utility, definitely marginal utility becomes 0. After that point, if you are going to increase the consumption, so total utility become reducing pattern. So then margin always take negative value. That means additional unit of consumption, there is no any kind of satisfaction for the consumer. That is why it take negative values. Right? Okay.
Right.
This is, you can calculate the marginal value if you have given total values, something like in a table. So just
Okay.
consider, if you are given the total utilities in an equation, how you can calculate the marginal values. We need to identify that one also. Okay. As example, I will explain that one. Total utility of consuming only one commodity. Okay, I will take in this position only one commodity. Right. 2 Q mean quantity of the commodity consumption, power, just 2. This is the total utility. That means if you are going to consume 5 commodities, 2, 5 power, right? Value must be there. So then how you can identify the marginal utility? So already you identify that mu equal delta Tu divided by delta Q. The difference of the total utility divided by the difference of the quantity. Okay. That means when you are going to consume additional unit of the consumption, when you are going to consume additional units of the quantity, so what happened to the total utility? That's the meaning of marginal utility, the additional total utility, right? So then you can utilize the statistical derivative functions. Okay, that means So I'm going to change that total utility function into marginal utility. Okay, mu equal. So then take the total utility functions derivative by the respect of q, right?
Right.
As an example, mu. So take the example 2, 5, sorry, 2q, this one. Total utility. This is total utility, okay? This is totally.
Okay.
I'm going to convert that one into marginal utility. Marginal utility u. I'm going to convert that mu equal. So take the power in front of the q, okay? 2 multiplied by 2 q. My power minus 1. Take the power in front of the q and minus 1. That's the theory.
Yeah.
Okay. So mu equal 4q. This is 1. We are not going to display that one. Okay. No need to display.
Right.
This is the marginal utility. Right?
Yeah.
So derivative always create the marginal value for the equations. Are you okay with all this?
Yes, I understood.
Yeah. Okay. We already identify this approach, measurable approach written by the Alfred Marshall, cardinal approach. Okay. In here, we are going to assume that utilization can be measured. That is why we can calculate it. Okay.
Yeah.
But already I said that each and every activities, each and every equation you will given as consumer going to consume only 2 commodities. Right? Why is that one? Why? So as example, just consider your income is 100 rupees. Okay, just assume. Okay, your income is just 100 rupees for a day. Okay? You are going to consume only X commodity and Y commodity, right?
Right.
Px means the price of the X commodity. Okay, price of the X commodity is just 5 rupees. Price of the Y commodity is just 10 rupees. Right? You are going to only consume 2 commodities. So then we are going to contain the budget line or budget constraints in here. Right? I'm going to utilize that horizontal axis to display the consumption of Y commodity. I'm going to utilize that vertical axis for the display the X commodity consumption. Okay, right.
Okay.
Just assume that you are going to consume only X commodity. Only X commodity. Okay, just assume only X commodity. Then you got only 100 rupees. Okay, then 100 divided by 5. Maximum you can utilize only 20 commodities, isn't it? Yes. Are you okay with it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, right. And next, you are going to assume that this person going to consume only Y commodities. The price of the Y commodity is 10 rupees. Actually, if you are going to utilize that 100 income only for the Y commodity, you can consume 10 commodity maximum, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to that. This is called as income curve or income constraint or budget line.
Yeah.
So this line represents the maximum possible consumption ability of the consumer, right?
Yes.
Maximum possible consumption of the consumer, right? As example, I'm going to point out it as A. Okay. When I'm going to use that as A, this represent as 10. I mean, from X commodity, you can consume 10. If I'm asking, then how about the consumption of Y? How much? You have to understand that one. You are going to utilize only 100 rupees. if you are going to consume 10 commodities from the X commodity, then what happened? The price of the X commodity is just 5 rupees. Then you are going to consume 10 multiplied by 10. So it become 50 rupees. So
Right.
then 100 minus 50, you got only 50 rupees to consume Y commodity. Then how?
Yeah.
So then you can understand, you can consume only 5 commodities
Yes.
from the Y, because the price of the Y commodity is 5 rupees. So sorry, 10 rupees multiplied by 5, it is become 50. So 50 plus 50 become 100. So then again you have to identify this person is not, do not try to, this person don't try to save the money.
Yeah.
Okay. What he got only for 1 day or 1 month, is try to consume each and everything. Right. So then now you have to assume that there isn't any kind of saving activities for that particular person. Okay. Right. You try to maximize the consumption or try to maximize the satisfaction or utility without saving money. That's the theory. Right. Okay. I think that is enough to understand the basic activities. Now we can move to the
Yes.
first calculator. Are you okay with this?
Yes, I understood. Thank you.
Now we move to the calculation. Okay. Right. The consumer's utility function is given by function of C and L. So this C indicate consumption, L indicate leisure.
Yeah.
Okay, find the marginal utility of consumption and the marginal utility of leisure for the respective consumer in term of consumption and leisure function. First of all, you have to identify this function is mixed function. It's not a separate function. Okay.
Yeah.
You can understand. First of all, I already gave you that this kind of Tu equal to Q, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
This is not a mixed function. It represents the total utility of consuming only X, only Q, only Q. It is related to X or Y or anything. Okay. So I'm going to write down something like that. Tu equal to X. That means this is the total utility of X commodity.
Yeah.
But in here you can identify U within bracket C and L respectively for the consumption, and L is there. So then this part is belong to the consumption.
Yeah.
Right. So this part is belong to the leisure. Right. So clarify all those things, then you can calculate it. Okay. Right. Okay. Then they're asking that find the marginal utility. So we got the idea how we can calculate the marginal utility. How? Derivatives. Utilizing the derivatives. Right? You can calculate the margin. But in here, you have to identify, I use that derivative for the only one commodity. Right? It is easy
Yeah.
to do one. Take the power in front of the commodity and minus 1. That's the derivative. But in here, you got two commodities. This is point indicates always multiply. Okay. Point always equal to multiply. Right. So then less 1 divided by 3. Right. In here. So we can call this kind of things as partial derivation. Okay. Partial derivation method. You can't utilize the derivative in here. You have to utilize partial derivation methodology.
Right.
It's different from the derivative methodology. I will explain step by step. Okay, you have to utilize in here partial derivation method. That is why they are asking the consumption of marginal utility of and leisure of the respective consumer in term of consumption and leisure function separately. We have to understand that. Okay, that is why we are going to check that. So first of all, this U indicate total utility. Okay, this U
Right.
indicate total utility. That is why we are going to derivate. Okay, first step. Step number one, to identify the marginal utility. Okay, MU. MU for the C. C means consumption.
Consumption.
Marginal
Right.
utility for the consumption. Right? Okay, you are going to derivate that one. Respectively only C. Respectively only C. Then what happened to the L? L become constant.
But
Right?
isn't it multiply?
No. There's a multiply is there. We are not going to consider about that one. Partial derivation consider only about that part. So
Okay,
then
okay.
it become constant because you are going to understand the marginal utility of consumption, not leisure.
Right.
That is why this leisure part become constant.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So then power goes to the in front of the C. Okay. Power. How? 2 divided by 3. C. Right. Then 2 divided by 3 minus 1. Okay. 2 divided by 3 minus 1. L 1 divided by 3. Similar. Right?
Right.
Then we have to calculate this one also in here. So something to understand in here. Okay. I will explain that in separately. 2 divided by 3 minus 1. 1 mean 1. As example is similar to that one, you can identify 1 mean how about that one? 2 divided by 3. It is look like 3 divided by 3. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, similar because 3 divided by 1 also similar to the 1. Right? In your childhood, you calculate that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
3
So it'll
similar
be -1/3.
2 divided, sorry, 2 minus 3 become 3. So then what happened? Minus 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Minus 1 divided by 3. If you have any kind of doubt about that one, you can utilize the calculator also, right? That means 2 divided by 3. 2 divided by 3. It is equal to 0.666. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. So then in your scientific calculator, press the minus value. That means answer minus 1. Answer is minus 0.3333. Right? In your calculator, you can identify that point SD. That button name is S arrow D.
Yeah. So it'll turn it to a fraction.
Yeah. Press that one. You will get the answer minus 1 divided by 3. It is similar to that one. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You calculate that 2 divided by 3 minus 1. Okay. So then MUZ equal 2 divided by 3 C. So then you can put that value minus 1 divided by 3 point L 1 divided power by 1 divided by 3. So this one. This is the marginal utility equation for the consumption.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you got the idea. Right. Okay. Then we need to move to the next one. It is step 2. Step 2 means now you are going to identify the marginal utility of leisure. Marginal utility of leisure. Okay. In here, you have to identify that point. I will change the color. Okay. Uh, this C become constant.
Yeah.
L is the part try to change in here. Right? I think you want it. So then T you say that Z powered by 2 divided by 3.L13. Right. So then MUL, that means marginal utility of leisure. Okay. Right. C is not going to change in here. This part came to the front of C. That means 1 divided by 3. Similarly, Z become constant, not going to change in here because we are going to calculate the marginal utility respectively value for the leisure only, right?
Yeah.
L mean in here 1 divided by 3 minus 1, right? So then finally MUL equal 1 divided by 3 Z 3L. That means 1 divided by 3 minus 1. Or same methodology you can utilize. So then what happened? Minus 2 divided by 3.
Yeah.
So this is the equation. You can say that marginal utility for the leisure. What is the meaning of that? That's the meaning of that. Just in here, you have to identify. In this position, I mean marginal utility for the consumption mean if you are going to consume additional unit of the consumption, right? Additional unit
Yeah.
of the consumption must be there. You can add the value for the consumption and leisure. Then you can identify the marginal utility values by numbers. That's the meaning of this. In here also, I mean marginal utility of leisure, consider that if you are going to utilize or consume additional point for the leisure, so what happened to the consumption? That's the meaning of marginal utility of leisure. I mean,
Right.
I think it is clear to you.
Yes.
Is there any kind of problems related to that particular activity?
Oh, no. It's clear. I understand.
Okay. Okay. If you have anything, you can ask. Okay. It may be
Right.
tiny activity also because these functions are not this function are these calculations are not related to the any other subject because
Right.
it's only related to the advanced microeconomics. So then we
Right.
have to identify all those things. If you have any kind of doubt, you can ask.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's move to the next one. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. First one is done. Second one. Okay. Number 2. With the consumer's quasi-linear utility function. Okay. Is another things. Quasi-linear function. Quasi-linear. Right. In here, first of all, you identified functions. Utility function. This is linear utility functions. Right. So what kind of subject you are studying in here? Statistics or anything?
What do you mean?
I mean your degree.
It's just a Bachelor of Commerce in Economics, so I have to do micro and macro,
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Okay. Then I think you are familiar with the linear function and nonlinear functions.
Yes, right.
Yeah. If it is a straight line, we call it linear functions. Okay.
Yeah,
As
right.
example, you already identify the demand equation and supply equation. It become linear functions.
Yeah,
But in a business level, if you can identify that business uh, potential GDP and actual GDP, it become non-linear function.
yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah. So those are the values here. You can uh, memorize those things in here. Okay. Right. So this quasi-linear function, quasi-linear. What do you mean by the quasi-linear functions? So in here we have to identify that uh, quasi-linear before calculate that one. Okay, quasi-linear. Right. Quasi-linear means basically we know that consumer demand, how consumer demand arise. Consumer demand. Consumer demand curve. Okay, consumer demand curve for a one good, one commodity,
Right.
consumer demand for one commodity or one good depend on its price. Okay, its price depend on its price in here. It's quasi
Yeah.
thinking pattern. But actual situation you can identify. Actual situation, the consumer demand for any kind of commodity depend on the price of the certain commodity and income of the consumer.
Right.
But in here, you are going to assume that the consumer demand is depend only its price, right?
Okay.
You are missing one part in here. In practical level, you are going to identify consumer demand depend on the price of the certain commodity and the income of the certain consumer. Because of that,
Right.
these two factors create the consumer demand because in by using that consumer income and price of the certain commodity, the buying ability of the consumer will be derived. So we call it buying ability. So buying ability of consumer will be depend on the consumer income and price of the certain commodity. That's a reality. But in here, you are going to miss a part of that one. That means you are going to miss out that consumer income not a factor to determine the level of the consumption. Only price of the certain commodity is effect to uh, develop or create the level of the consumption of a certain commodity. That is why we call it quasi-linear methodology.
Right.
Okay, I think you got to understand. Okay, right.
Yeah.
In practical level, you can't think something like that, right? When you are going to consume something, you already decide that, already calculate in your mind what kind of income you got, what kind of money in your hand, and what is the price of this commodity. So according to that one, you are going to calculate how much I can consume. The consumption can be depend on that one in practical manner. But in here, you are going to decide that you are not going to consume about the income, just consider about only price. That is what we call as quasi methodology or partly methodology. Quasi means one part. Okay, right. Okay, quasi linear method. Okay, right. I think you got to understand. So we got the equation U mean total utility related to the consumption and lesser, and C equal C mean consumption. Okay, C plus 2 log L. Log mean in here we are going to calculate all those things by utilizing log values, right? Log values. 2 log L. 2 log L. You can calculate that one by using calculator. Okay, no need uh, log tables, right?
Yeah.
Just utilize the scientific calculator. That is enough. There's a difference between log value for the calculator and table value. No need to worry about that one because the difference between those two become a lower value, minor value. So no need to worry about that one. Okay. But log when you equal to 6, this is very crucial factor. We have to identify that one. When u equal to 6, you mean you indicate the total utility. Then you can identify u hat in here. This is not only u hat mark also here. In Latin language, always hat indicate this particular value, this particular variable must be constant. That is why we use that hat value. I think you are familiar with that one. Okay?
Yeah.
If I'm going to say that Q equal F fundamental K and L, it is related to the production function. If I'm going to utilize hat in here, that means K is always constant. Only one variable, it is L, become variable factor. This become fixed factor to produce the goods and services in here. That means you can't change the K. K mean K always indicate capital. Because in Latin language, K you used to indicate the capital of the any kind of organization or production firm. Okay, it is something like that. Right. Then when you always must be equal to 6, right? How we can identify that one? I'm going to understand that. Describe this one by using this one. This one. Okay. In ordinal utility, okay, already we discussed about cardinal utility. In next, you have to identify second approach. It is we call as ordinal approach.
Right. Okay.
To understand the consumer equilibrium, already we discussed about the cardinal approach invented by the Alfred Marshall. Okay, in that position, he said that utility can be measured. That is how you can calculate it. But in here, they say that in ordinal approach, we call it indifference curve theory, indifference curve analysis. They say that actually unable to calculate the values for that one, but we can identify the different type of level of the consumption. Different level. So that is what we call as IC curve. IC curve mean indifference curve.
Right.
As example, in one person in here is going to utilize only two commodities. First one, this horizontal axis represent the A commodity, this represents the B commodities. Okay, right. I will cross out that utility curve. We call it IC curve, IC1. Okay, if you are going to consume each and every point in the IC curve one utility, same value. How it happened? It happened something like that. So I'm going to point out this X. Consumption of B become 20. Consumption of A become 10. If I'm going to point out this as a Y, consumption of B become 10 and this is 20. Right? If I'm going to utilize, point out that is a 5 for A, it is 25. So you can identify the combination of the commodities for the B and A is different from one point to another point. Okay, in next point, you are going to consume 20 of B commodities. From A commodity, you are going to consume only 10. But in Y point, you are going to consume 10 of B commodity and 20 of A commodity. In Z point, you are going to consume 5 of B commodity, 25 of A commodity. Yes, combination. I mean, we call it consumption commodity bundle. Okay.
Yeah.
Commodity bundle is changed from one point to another point. Yes, it happened. But the utility and satisfactions are similar. Utility same value. That is combining the same utility value. Combining the same utility value, you are going to create the IC curve. That's the nature, right? If I am going to create another IC curves related to this particular two commodities, this we call as IC2, then what happens? Upper level of IC curve always represent the combination, I mean, bundle of the consumption take greater value than the IC1.
Yeah, so it has higher utility.
Yeah, is considered about the high utility levels.
Right.
Right. In here, you have to identify indifference curve always indicate utility, I mean satisfaction. Right? Then what happened? You have to identify, you also got different type of satisfaction.
Yeah.
According to yourself. Okay. I'm also got different type of satisfaction, but it is belong to me. Right? We got expectations. Yes, but we can't do that one because our buying ability must be equal to that position. Right? Without that one, you can't consume. Right?
Right.
That is why in ordinal approach, say that if the budget constraint cross the line of IC, that's the equilibrium of consumer. Because this budget constraint or budget line always display the ability of consumption.
Right.
Did you get the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you develop that budget constraint by using the price of the certain commodity and the income of the consumer. That's the meaning of consumption ability. Right? Okay. So it display the consumption ability. So then what happened to the IC curve? It display the expectation of consumer.
Right.
That means satisfaction of the consumer. So expectation and ability cross together, equal together. That's the meaning of consumer equilibrium. That's the point where this particular consumer can reach the maximum level of consumption utility.
Okay.
Right. This is the methodology where in ordinal approach, you can calculate the maximum point of satisfaction. it is very easy to understand what happening here. Okay, it is clear. I think you are clear with that one.
Yeah, I understood.
Is there anything to clarify?
No, not really.
Okay, okay, now we can move to the calculation part. I mean, sorry, in this part, a minute, I will show something for you. Right, indifference curve. In indifference curve theory, you have to identify something like that one. Okay, indifference curve slope downward to the right. Actually, in indifference curve, never cross the horizontal axis or vertical axis. Why? You can't create something like indifference curve, crossing point, something like, you can't draw indifference curve like that. There's a law behind that one. Why? If any kind of indifference curve cross this one, that means the consumption of X commodity becomes zero, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If any kind of indifference curve cross the line of horizontal, so consumption of Y commodity becomes zero. You can't do that one. First of all, I say that that particular consumer try to consume both commodities. That is why this curve is not going to cross the horizontal axis, either vertical axis. So then what happened? It become convex to the origin, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
To the origin, and it is bit like a rectangular hyperbola. It's not going to cross the vertical low, something like that. Something like that. Rectangular one, isn't it? Yes. It's one of the major critical identification related to the indifference curve. And next one is upper level indifference curve represent higher level of satisfaction. So I see 3 in display the higher level of satisfaction. I see 1 display the lower. So never ever indifference curve cross together each
Yeah.
other. Why? Because I see 1 display another level of utility. I see 2 indicate another level of consumption. Then if they are going to cross each other, that means those are similar.
Yeah.
So never cross the lines. Okay. Then so identify those features must be there for the indifference curve. If you are going to break out those low or those features, yes, marks will be dropped. Okay. It's critical. Because you are going to cross out or anything done wrong, that means you are breaking the rules of economics. That is why it happens. Right. Now let's move to that. In here, you can identify when you had equal to 6, that means same utility function, isn't it? Same utility.
Yeah.
U equal to 6. 6 means anywhere you can consume, but utility must be similar to 6. That means same indifference curve is here. Same indifference curve. That's the meaning of this. That is why I already discussed about the indifference curve to understand this point. So then you got 3 type of value for the leisure. Leisure equal to 1, leisure equal to 6, leisure equal to 12. Right? When leisure equal to 1, you have to calculate the consumption of consumption values.
Yeah.
Leisure equal to 6, I mean, they are going to spend leisure equal to 6, or 6 consumption related to the leisure, you have to calculate the value for the C. Again, when L equal to 12, you have to calculate the value for the C. So, both 3 bundles similar consumption, it is utility, total utility becomes 6. That is, you have to calculate in here, right? Okay. Now you get the value. So take the utility function u, c, and l equal c plus 2 log L. 2 log L. Right. This is a function. You have to calculate it. But in here, already take the value. It is equal. I mean, U total utility is a constant value. I mean, the IC curve value is 6. Already 6. Then you have to change the value for the I. So how we can change that one? First of all, in here, I'm going to create the table for that one. I mean, values for the L. L values from 1, so become 6 and 12. Then you are going to calculate the C value. Right, you got that the utility value in here become always 6. Then what happened? That means 6 equal Z plus 2 log L, isn't it? Because you got U value always become 6. Are you okay with that one?
Yeah.
Because already say that when total utility become 6, that means same utility value, only L change according to L, how they can consume the consumption. That is what they are going to understand here. So then equation is there. C 6 equals C plus that one. So you have to find the value for the C. Then you have to make sure take the C value in separately. Then you can calculate it. That means 6 equal, and it's 6 here, then you take this part to the left side, minus 2 log L equal C. Okay, it is easy to calculate, that is why I put it. Okay, without changing that one also you can calculate, no need to worry about that one, because it is very easy to understand, because you are going to calculate the C value by using L value. That is why I separately take that C value in here. Right? Are you okay with that one? That means
Yeah.
C equal 6 minus 2 log L, isn't it? So, first of all, take value, first value at L equal to 1. L become 1. That means Z equal 6 minus 2 log L value. L value must be 1. Isn't it? Yeah. So that means Z equal 6 minus 2 log 1.
Right.
Right. That means you have to calculate log 1. Actually, in your scientific calculator, log 1, definitely we know that it is become 0. Okay, log 1 means 0. Log, try to understand here. Press the log and within brackets put the 1 and close the bracket, press the equal. It becomes 0. Right. Then 6. So then the here it becomes 0, isn't it? Yeah, 0. Right. Log value becomes 0. That means C equals 6 minus 0, isn't it? So C becomes 6. Are you okay with that one?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Let's move to the next one. At L equal, next one is 6. 6. That means Z equal 6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 log bracket in here, it is 6. So we need to calculate that log 6 within brackets. Okay. V equal 6 minus 2 log 6. Becomes 0.7781. Okay. 0.7781, something like that. Okay. C equal 6 minus. Then you are going to multiply that value from 2. It become 1.555, something like that. Okay. So C equal 6 minus that value. It becomes 4.44. So then in here, you can put that value. Something like that. Right. In third step, you are going to understand in here how that L value become 12. Then what about the value of C? Z equal 6 minus 2 log 12. Right? Z equal 6 minus 2 log 12. Sorry, 1.079. Multiply by 2, 2.158. 6 minus answer, it becomes 3.84. Z equal 3.841. 3.841. Okay. Okay, calculate each and everything.
Yeah.
When L equal to 1, Z become 6. When L equal to 6, Z become 4.44. When L equal to 12, Z become 3.84. All the bundles find out in here, right? So then how we are going to manage it in curve? Because you got hint in here. Draw the indifference curve for the respective consumer. Hint. On vertical axis, take consumption, and horizontal axis, take leisure. Okay. Now in here, I'm going to use that word in here. Wait a minute. I will take this one. Horizontal axis, vertical. Okay. Okay. Oh, horizontal axis, leisure. Okay. Yeah, leisure. This is consumption. Okay. 0 point. In here, you have to identify. You are not studying quantity survey. Okay. You are not studying quantity survey, anything. Mathematics or something like that. You are studying economy. Right.
Right.
You have to display the basic things only. What about the deep understanding related to the calculations, each and every? It's not related to the economics. Right. In any country, no need to worry about that one. Right. So then you have to understand 3 points in here based on that understanding the calculation. When L equal to 1 in here, okay, 6 is there, right? 12 is there, okay?
Yeah.
So you can wait a minute. Sorry. Right? 6. Do not take, no need to worry about the actual difference between those things. It's not really some, no need to worry about that because we are going to study the economics, not country survey. Okay, right. And then according to that one, if the L equal to 1, what I want to consumption, it becomes 6. Okay, 6 in here. I will label 6 here. So this is the point. This is the point. So L equal to 6, it become 4.44. So 4.6. This is 3, something like that one. 4.3. Right in here. Okay. When 12, L equal to 12, 3 points, something like that. 3.8. So it is similar area, something like. I'm not good at drawing. Okay, can do that. I see. This is the answer.
Right. Okay.
So you can draw that line crossing that point. Okay, not good at drawing. So you can do that. So if you have any kind of doubt about the drawing or anything related to the calculation, you can use one of the website known as DEMS or something like that. I remember the name. Wait a minute. Yeah, Desmos. 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 You can use that site
Yeah, right.
to understand the graph and linear things. Actually, it is related to the econometrics also. Econometrics regression analysis also can be calculated by using that particular website. Just utilize that AI based website. Okay, then you can draw that
Yeah.
line easy, right? Already we completed that quasi-linear indifference curve theory, curve calculation related to that particular constraint. I mean, when total iterative become uh, equal to 6, I mean, same IC curve, when lesser time period change, how they are going to consume the different type of consumption. So that is complete. Are you okay with that one?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, let's move to the third one. This one. Right. I think you already discussed about the cubic root calculations.
Yeah, I know how to do those.
Good. So then, suppose that the respective consumer utility function is given by it's EL2. Cubic roots are there. Cubic roots in here. What is the consumer's marginal rate of substitution? Oh, it's one of the major part of the consumption theory. First of all, we have to identify what's the meaning of marginal rate of substitutions. MRS. Two types of things there. Marginal rate of substitution. We call it MRS. Again, you can identify in economics MRTS also there. Marginal
Right.
rate technical substitutes. Right? But in here, you have to calculate about the marginal rate of substitutes. It is different from the MRS. Okay. Let's move to the MRS. I will describe that one. Right. Already we discussed that in this particular position in the theory of utility, each and every consumer try to consume only two commodities. It may be A or B, X or Y. Okay, right? And then similarly, by utilizing that IC curve, you already identified the bundle of consumption at the point of A is going to change at the point of B. That means in here you are going to uh, change the consumption of this vertical axis to increase the consumption of horizontal axis. Right? As example, are you okay with that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will explain by using one simple example. Then you can use. Don't worry about my drawing. Okay, I'm not with that one. I see. Okay. So you already identified that IC curve developed by using similar consumption point. The total utility are similar in here. Right. So this is the consumption of A, this is the consumption of B. Right. I will label that point as A. Sorry. I will label that point as X. Okay. X. This is X. This point as Y. Okay. If this particular consumer consume that consumption in point X, what happened? Point X. The consumption of A and consumption of B can be different, can be changed. Right? Let's move to the consumption X. Definitely they're going to utilize 20. Okay. Those values are assumption values. Do not worry about that one. To understand, we are going to utilize this assumption value. Okay. And then it is 2. 2 of B commodity. 20 from B commodity, it's 2. Right. Really, that's consumer try to shift their consumption bundle from X to Y. So then what happened to the consumption of X? Consumption of X going to be reduced to 10. Point Y, the consumption of A commodity goes to reduce to 10. But the consumption of Y commodity increased to 4. This is 4. So now it is very easy to understand in here. This consumer shift his consumption from X to Y position, right? This consumption, this consumer change their consumption position from X to Y position, right? Okay, then the consumption bundle also change. So he reduced the consumption of A commodity from 20 to 10. That means he sacrificed the consumption of A commodity 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
For what? To increase the consumption of B commodity from 2 to 4. Right? That means to increase the consumption of B commodity just 2. That means he sacrificed the consumption of A commodity 10 to increase the consumption of B commodity for 2 commodities. That means 10 commodities for 1 commodity, 10 commodities for 2 commodities. 10 to 2, isn't it? Yes. So then
Right.
what? So if you try to increase the consumption of B commodity by 1 unit, then you have to sacrifice 5 unit of X, isn't it? 5 units of A.
Yeah.
If it is 10 for 2, so then 1 for 5. That's the meaning in here, isn't it? Yes. In the face of X commodity, you are going to sacrifice that one. You try to increase the consumption of B. So then base value must be in a B position. Okay. Secondary value must be in a commodity. That is how we are going to calculate the MRS. Your base position must be increasing commodity. Your secondary position must be in a sacrificing value. I mean, a commodity in this position. Right? It's going to be changed. So now you can identify 10 divided by 2 because 10 commodity sacrifice for the 2 commodities. So 10 divided by 2 become 5. That means if you need to increase the consumption of B commodity by 1 unit, you have to sacrifice 5 unit of A consumption. That's the substitution mathematics in here. That means for the A commodity, you are going to substitute B commodity. Substitutes mean for the A commodity, you are going to consume the B consumption. Because why? By changing the bundle, you can take the same utilization because each and every points are on the line of one particular IC curve. Are you okay with that one?
Yeah, I understood.
So, as a question, if I'm going to consume 6 unit of B, 6 unit of B, 6 unit of B commodity, then what happened to the consumption of A? How much?
If B decreases by 6?
Uh, no, increase by 6. Going to increase that one into 6. Okay, into 6.
Yeah, then A would decrease and MRS would fall, right?
A will decrease amount. How much? It becomes 0.
Yeah, because when it went from 2 to 4, it fell by half. So then if it increases by another 2, it will
Yeah,
fall by half again. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes 0.
Yeah.
That is how you can understand that. Okay. So that is why we need to identify the MRS value, marginal rate of substitutes. So if you are going to increase the consumption of one commodity, you have to sacrifice the consumption of another commodity. I will explain that situation by using practical example. Okay.
But then won't it touch the axis if it becomes 0?
No, yes, you can't touch the axis because I got the value for the 6. If you are going to utilize 6, then it start to touch the 0 value. It is not practical. If I am asking that if you are going to consume 5 commodity, then what happens?
It won't, it will be like 1. Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Because you are sacrificing 5 commodities for the one consumption of B.
Right. So
Right?
even though if it were like 6, we wouldn't draw that point because it would touch the
No,
x-axis, right?
we can't do that one in Indifference Curve.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I just take it as an example only.
Okay.
That kind of
Okay.
problems will not be arise in the papers. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. According to the 2, 4, 6 pattern, that is why I just take 6 value.
Right.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. I will take a practical example for that one. Okay. As example, the person got only income, constant income. It is just 100 rupees. It is constant. No going. It's not going to change. Okay. Daily income is just 100 rupees. He going to only consume A commodity and B commodity. The price of the A commodity, I mean PA means price of the A commodity is just 20 rupees. Price of the B commodity is just 10 rupees.
Yeah.
If you are going to consume only A commodity, so you can consume 5 commodities, 5 cube. If you are going to consume only B commodity, you can consume 10. That's the theory.
Right. Okay.
Then actually in practical position, this person try to consume only 2 from the A commodity. So then this person is spend how much? 40 rupees. Because the price of the A commodity is just 20. Right?
Okay.
Consuming 2 commodity, he has to spend 40 rupees. Then he got only 60 rupees. Then he can consume from B commodity how much? 6. Why? Because 6 the price of the B commodity is just 10 rupees.
Yeah.
10 multiplied by 6 is becomes 60. 60 is there. So 100 rupees is there. Right. So then assume that this particular person increase the consumption of A commodity from 2 to 3. Okay. From 2 to 3. Then what happened to the expenditure on next commodity? 3 multiplied by 20. Right. It becomes 60. Right. So then what happened to the consumption of B? He can only consume 4 commodity, isn't it?
Yeah.
4 multiplied by 10, 40 rupees is
It's
there.
40.
Yeah, 100 rupees.
Right. Okay.
Isn't it practical?
Yeah.
Yes, it's practical. When you are going to consume anything, you have to sacrifice something, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the reality of the life. When you are going to increase the consumption of something, you have to sacrifice something. That's the reality. That means substitute. Right. So the meaning of the marginal rate of substitution, MR is a core concept in the original utility approach, I mean methodology. It describes the rate of which a consumer is willing to give up, I mean sacrifice. Okay, give up means sacrifice.
Yeah.
One good, yes, one good. Usually, just as why good why in exchange for another good of X. I mean, sacrifice your some commodity, some value to increase the some commodity consumption while maintaining the exact same level of satisfaction and same level of income. If the income
Right.
of a certain level is changing, the things not going to change something like that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
If income increasing, no need to worry about the constraint. You can change the consumption suddenly. Right. You already identified that one. Okay. Right. In here, you can identify the position of A. Position of A, you are going to consume this part 16 commodity. Right. But in here, only one commodity of food. Only one. Suddenly change the consumption from A to B. Change the consumption to take. Okay. The point A say that from the clothing. Okay. You can keep. I think you we understand that one. A point A, clothing 16 and food 1. Right.
Right.
Suddenly change the position to B, change the clothing, I mean reduce the clothing consumption to 10 and increase the clothing consumption to 2. That means this particular person increase the food consumption by 1 unit by sacrificing 6 unit. 6 to 1. 6 to 1. So then that means we are going to calculate the MRS respectively, consumption and clothing and consumption. So clothing and consumption, clothing means C and L, both C and F. Okay, sorry. C mean clothing, F mean food. MRSCF mean marginal rate of substitutes respectively clothing for the food. That's the meaning of MRCF. Okay, right. That means delta delta C mean clothing difference, difference of the clothing. Delta
Yeah.
F mean difference of the F. That means difference of that one, it is 6. Difference of this one, it is 1. So then MRSCF equal to 6. That means for the one commodity of food increasement, you have to sacrifice 6 commodity. That means for the one commodity, one of the food commodity, you can substitute 6 of clothing. For the 6 of clothing, you can substitute 1 of food. That's the ability in here. That's the meaning of marginal rate of substitute. Actually, the indifference curve takes something like the convex to the origin. Okay, convex to the origin always.
Right.
The slope value, always the slope value. How you can calculate the slope value? As example in here, just a value, a point and b point. Just take this point value, this value, and this value. This value divided by this value, then take the slope value. Actually, indifference curve's slope indicate the marginal rate of substitutes.
Right.
Okay. This particular curve slope show the marginal rate of substitute. How you consumer can give up one commodity for another commodity. That's the meaning of marginal rate of substitute. Okay. I
Yeah.
think you got the idea related to the marginal rate of substitute.
Yes, I understood.
Yeah. Okay, now we can move to the question. Right. Suppose that the respective consumer utility function is given by, in here also similar consumption, I mean consumption and leisure. Okay. So CL, total utility function are given in here. Then you can identify marginal utility, you have to utilize in here, marginal utility in here. So how you can calculate the marginal utility respectively both consumptions. So MRS LZ. LZ mean L mean lesser, Z mean consumption, respectively lesser for the consumption, right? How you can calculate MUL divided by MUC. That's the methodology. Because why? Already at the position of, yeah, this one. You can identify MU mean the difference, additional, MU value. Those are MU values, delta YB. And that is why I take it.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So this is the equation. This is the methodology which you can calculate the marginal rate of substitutes respectively for the leisure. So then another equation must be there. Two type of equations are there. M R is marginal rate of substitutes. C L. Right. So then this is C. Okay. This is C. It is similar. I will change that. So then what happened? M. This is C. This is L. Right. MUC. MUL. Okay.
Right.
Just take the order in here. If it is C, you have to put that C value in here. If it is L, then here. L, C on the line. So this is which called as based on the leisure, because this is based on the leisure. This is based on the consumption, right? That means in here we say that MRS, how that particular person sacrifice the leisure for the consumption. In here, how that particular consumer sacrifice the consumption for the leisure. The difference, okay? And how that consumer substitutes leisure for the consumption. How that consumer substitute consumption for the leisure. It is substitute values, marginal rate of the substitution. Okay, first of all, we have to identify the equation. Already we know that equation given in mixed level. Not a separate equation is there. Already we take this mix ideological values for here. Okay. So then we have to put the value in here. What are they? 2. We call it cubic roots. Okay. Cubic root. 3 z plus, yeah, 3 cubic root L. Isn't it? Yeah. This is
Right.
a differential function. Yeah. Okay. If any mistake, you can tell me. Okay. If I'm making any mistake. Okay. Right. Okay. Based on that one, actually, it is hard to calculate by using root value. If it is a if we can change that face values, it is very easy to understand that. I think you can understand first calculation. It become very easy by using separate value. Actually, you can identify in here as example 2 root values. I mean cubic root value. See, it is always equal to 2 1 divided by 3 value minus 1 divided by 3 value. Sorry, 3 value minus 1 divided by 3 value. Because we know that already cubic root value 3 values always equal to this value. How we can identify this one? Just take your calculator.
Right. Okay.
Okay. First of all, press the shift button. Shift. Okay. Shift. Right. And cubic root is here. Is there? Cubic value in here. Cubic value is there.
Right.
Just press it. If you press the cubic value, you can identify 3 and symbol. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And put value 2 and close the bracket and press equal. You can identify the answer is 1.25, isn't it?
Yes.
1.2. That's the cubic value. So similarly, just press the 1 button and press 2 and utilize hex. Okay, hex button in here means power button. Within brackets, put 1 divided by 3 and close the bracket. You can take the same value, isn't it?
Yeah.
1.2599, same value. in here. So then you can understand cubic root meaning power of 1 divided by 3. It is similar. So no need to worry about that one. You can change the equation as simple manner. So how? U equal, right? U equal 2C 1 divided by 3 plus 3L 1 divided by 3. Are you okay with that one?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah. If you can convert all those things, it is very easy to calculate. Right? I'm not good at, I'm not a genius person for the calculation. I'm using easy methodology. That is why I'm
Right,
using this one. Okay.
right.
Because I'm not a genius one for the calculation. That is why I'm using easy methodologies. Okay. Because I just learn only economics, not calculations. Okay. Right. This is step 2. 1. Now it is clear. Already you can remember the first question. You take the partial derivation, isn't it? Yes. You take that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to calculate M U C to understand this one. To understand this one. Okay. Right. That means the entire utility curve must be derivative respect to z, respective to the z value. Right? Okay. Then it is equal MUC equal, right. This is the equation, right. Then you have to identify 2. The respective value for the power value is 1 divided by 3. It is came to the front. 1 divided by 3 is C. That means 1 divided by 3 minus 1. Just write down the steps. It is very easy to calculate. If you are not going to do that one, then what happens? Then it become, there may be mistakes. That is why I'm do step by step. Then what happened to those parts? It become constant.
Yeah.
So no need to worry about the calculation. That one you can continue only this by using this one, right? So then you have to multiply 2 multiply by 1 divided by uh, this one. Okay, utility function take as this one. Can you continue this one? Can you continue this one to calculate this basic value?
Yeah, we can simplify it more, right?
Yeah, simplify this one. How it
So it'll
MUC
be 2 by
divided
3c to the
by 3
power of
power of
minus 2 by 3
minus 2, isn't it?
minus 2 by 3, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Mm, minus 1, isn't it? Yeah. That means 1 by 3, 3 divided, isn't it? Yeah. So we can calculate it. Okay. Then what about the final answer for the MUC? Two divided by three, C power minus two divided by minus two divided
Yeah.
by 3. Okay, finally is here. Can you calculate it respectively for the L? I mean MUL, MUL. I mean total function of the utility respectively to the value of L. Can you try it?
Yeah.
Good.
So it'll be L to the power of -2/3.
L 3 is here, multiplied by 1 divided by 3, isn't it? Yeah. L 1 3 minus 1, isn't it?
Yep.
So final answer, in front of the L 1, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just one.
Yeah, you actually no need to put the 1, okay? But we say that. And power value is -2 divided by 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Similar. Okay. So those are the two functions for the mu. This is MUC, isn't it? Yeah, MUC. This is MUL. Okay, sorry. I think it's clear. Yeah. Okay, now you identify that one. Two calculation related to that particular MU and other things. Right. By using this one, I already said that this is the methodology for the L, MRS for L and C. So
Yeah.
MUL must be divided by MUC. Based on that one, we can continue the consumption calculation. MRS, I'm going to LC. Okay. So then what happened? MUL must be divided by MUZ. So it is similar. So what about the L? L by divided by, okay. Then next one it is 2 divided by 3. Yeah, 2 divided by 3. C minus 2 divided by, yeah, 3. Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So this is the methodology for functions for the marginal rate of substitutes respectively. Leisure for the consumption substitutes values. You can identify in here both are minus values.
Yeah.
Both are minus value. If you are going to simplify all those things in next step, so then what happens? You can change the direction. So upside down changing. Okay. 3 divided by 2 in here up. And then what happens? C also change. Then what happens? C. So then minus become plus value, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 divided by 3. And isn't it L divided L mean L 2 divided by 3 values. I think it is clear. Are you okay with that one?
Yes, I
Actually,
understood.
3 divided by 2, C divided by L, it is similar, 2 divided by 3. So then between the, you can put that 2 divided by 3, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
So I think if we can simplify this as this one, it is easy to calculation, isn't it?
Yeah, yes.
If you are utilizing that one also, it is good because this is the methodology. When you are going to calculate by using L values and C value, answer must be similar. No need to worry about that one. But if you can convert all complex equation to the simple methodology, it is very easy to understand and it is very easy to calculate in next part. Right? Okay. The questions ask that uh, what is the consumer marginal rate of substitution relation. Okay, complete that one. This is the MRS respectively L is L ni, yeah, L C 3 divided by 2 CV divided by L 0.3. So this is the methodology which we identified as marginal rate of substitutes based on the value of leisure for the consumption. Right. Already completed that one. Are you okay with this one?
Yes, I understood.
Okay. Let's move to the fourth one. Okay. Sorry. Okay. In fourth one, for the consumer, described in previous question, I mean 3, suppose that this consumer currently supply 0.64 unit of labor. Within brackets, we got the hint, total available time is 1 hour. So many things to clarify before calculation in here. Okay, I will describe one by one. Try to grab that one. Total available time is hours 1. From that one, they are going to supply only 0.64. Then what happened to next? I mean 0.36 for the lesser, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
And consumer consumes 7.2 units of the
Yeah.
consumption. That means C1 is 7.2. Then now you can put the value for the C as 7.2. Okay.
Yeah.
How many units of consumption is this consumer willing to give up? How many units of consumption is it willing to give up at the margin to enjoy more leisure? This bundle, you know that bundle you find here as Z1, L1, 7.2. So we need to identify the value in here. That's what is the value of L1,
Yes.
right? So try to clarify the basic idea in here. First of all, so we have to identify total time. Total time available is 1. Okay. Before calculate something like that kind of question, so you have to write down the main elements of the questions, something like this one. So if you are going to this, it is very easy to calculate. That is why I'm doing that one. Okay. It must be used as tactics. Total time is 1. Yes, we identify that one. So how they are going to supply for the labor? Supply for labor is only 0.64. Then what happened to the lesser time period? Yeah, then lesser time period equal 1 minus 0.46, isn't it? It become 0.36.
Yes.
Lesser time period become this one. Actually, it is not practical, I know that, but you have to continue your calculation according to the given values.
Equal. Yeah.
Okay, right. Equal. This is the leisure time period. Then what about the consumption? Consumption also given as 7.2. We got the value for the C, but we don't have any value for the leisure. That is what we have to calculate. Okay. We don't have any idea that one. So you got the basic idea in here. Actually, no need to worry about the equation. Just go to this one
Yeah.
because this is a marginal rate of substitutes. Okay. By looking at that one, I'm going to copy this equation. Okay. MRS. equal 3 divided by 2. Yes, 3 divided by 2. And C divided by L. L. Within brackets, power is just 2 divided by 3. Okay, you can utilize the calculator for that one. Okay, no need to worry about MRS 3 divided by 3. Yes, we know the value for the consumption, isn't it?
Yeah.
7.2. Right. So then what about the L? L is there. This is not L. This is about substitution L. Okay.
Right. Okay.
This is the L for the spending time period. It is 0.36.
36. Yeah.
2 divided by 3. So MRS equal 3 divided by 3. So first of all, calculate this. I mean 7.2 divided by 0.36 become 20. Right, in here that means 3 divided by 2, it is 1.5. Okay, 1.5. So 20 powered by 2.2 divided by 3. So what happened? 7.3668. Okay, this is the value. So MRS equal 11.05.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Are you okay with this calculation? Yes.
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Then you have to write down something after the calculation. Okay. This calculation is not enough. Okay, you already calculated, but you have to write down something to clarify this calculation for the paper. Okay.
Right.
Then write down this consumer. I mean, this consumer is willing to give up 11.5, right? 11.5 unit of consumption. Unit of consumption to gain or to increase increase or similar. Okay, to gain one more to gain one more leisure. Okay, yeah, leisure, one more unit of leisure.
Right.
That's enough. Okay, 1 minute of leisure. Actually, this is the answer. That means this consumer is willing to give up or sacrifice 11.05 consumption to make to another consumption of lesser time period. So that's the meaning of marginal rate of substitutes.
Yeah.
Okay with this one?
Yes.
Okay. Now we are going to wind up the session because I have to conduct another lecture within 10
Right.
minutes. So then what about you? Anything to say?
It was clear. I understood all the